Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a video talking about a possible Tesla 2.0. There is some slight rumor confirmation on this. I'm going to classify it as rumor, even though it's from a very reputable source, and we're going to talk about this today. I do want to give a quick shout out to Magnus's Loot Crates for giving me the heads up. He found it in one of the groups, and he wanted to pass this along to me. And the thing is that I thought I was in that group. I guess I'm not. I don't know. But anyway, very reliable source, and thanks Magnus for sending that along to me. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So I was going to save this for my news segment, maybe have a little small section in there where I talk about this. And I probably still will talk about it for like 20 seconds or whatever, because I know I'll get a ton of feedback, which I love. And the thing is that we have been wanting a 2.0 or a reissue of Tesla for a long time. That's actually a figure that's really hard to get, really rare, and has just shot through the roof on the secondary market. And as you know, Fanstoys is no longer afraid of a 2.0 revision version. So they're coming straight out and saying, yeah, we'll do a 2.0 version, no problem. And so they did it with their Spindrift. Now the Spindrift's already been announced to us, so that's on its way. That is coming. But a while back, a few years back, Fanstoys didn't want to go this route. Fanstoys didn't want to do 2.0s. You know, Takara is perfectly comfortable with now 3.0s, but Fanstoys wasn't back then. I don't know what got them over their fear of not wanting to do a 2.0 or not wanting to show that they're doing a revision or whatever, but they tried to plan a line called Perfect Fusion. And this Perfect Fusion line is what creates this Cesium, which is their Scoria remade into a more modern design, bigger. There's just a lot of things were different with this, but I still feel like the Scoria presents better in robot mode aesthetically with the paint and the shine and the sheen. I think that the Perfect Fusion design is a little bit better, but it just doesn't look up to Fanstoys standard. Now, a lot of people said Perfect Fusion was going to actually be a cheaper line. I don't know. And guess what? Cyclonus was actually planned as the second Perfect Fusion release, but they canceled the whole Perfect Fusion. They're not going that route anymore. They're just staying straight up Fanstoys, probably because of the fact that if it says Fanstoys, that's a much stronger brand than making a new side brand. So that brings us to a Tesla 2.0. Now, a lot of people have assumed that we would get a reissue by now. Now, the rumor about Tesla is the molds, the original molds were broken or lost or stolen or whatever. But broken makes a lot more sense, because if they were stolen, someone would be KOing this thing by now. Or if they were lost, well, you know, maybe they'd have found them by now. Who knows? So there's been this discussion and debate back and forth. Do you reissue a Tesla? Do they take their current design and do they reverse engineer their original Tesla design, make molds based off of an original Tesla, and then just crank out Tesla 2.0 based off that mold and that design? Well, I don't think that's what they would do. I think they're at the point right now where they look at it and they say, we can do better. We are going to be better than this. By the way, I don't see anything wrong with Tesla. I think he's perfectly fine. He needs a better face. And frankly, until I heard so many people in an uproar about it, the face didn't even really bother me. I sort of notice it now, would like a better face now. And I'm kind of hoping, crossing my fingers, if they do make a Tesla 2.0, that it still fits in an original Tesla slot. So I could just take, if I bought another Tesla 2.0, that I could put the face in my original Tesla and have two good-looking Teslas, or two good-looking Perceptors. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty, because I actually have a lot to talk about when it comes to this. There's just been a lot of things on my mind about this guy. So getting into this, here is an email that this person has sent, and I guess he's the person that's in charge of this Facebook group, and it's one of the Fanstoys Masterpiece, official Fanstoys Masterpiece Facebook group, I think. He sent some questions. Here's question 1. Is there going to be a Stomp or Insecticon reissue? Number 2, Are you going to reveal Slingshot and Fireflight soon? Number 3, is Scourge coming anytime soon? Number 4, are you planning a Tesla 2.0? There's the magic question, right? But I think these are all great questions, by the way. Number 5, have you thought about doing a non-chrome metallic only tuned version of the Diebots? And I think these are great questions, but like number 2, Slingshot and Fireflight, I would assume we'd get one of those by the end of the year. But of course, I'm probably wrong. Probably wrong. If not both of those by the end of the year, but again, I'm probably wrong. But again, here are, well, the replies. And it says, I cannot get on Facebook, Chinese government blocked it. So, see, this is something interesting that's just kind of like the inner workings of behind the scenes and what goes on. They can't access Facebook themselves. That's why the Weibo accounts, Weibo's so big and so important. But anyway, I'm sure y'all are reading all the way down it and you're getting all the answers, but I'm going to give you my take on all this. So, number 1 is, the question is there going to be a Stomp or Insecticon reissue? And it's not soon. Now, I was hearing people saying that we were going to get Forager reissued in late 2018. That rumor was floating around, but I never saw anything that was this close to confirmation about that. And this saying not soon. So, no chance of Insecticons this year or Stomp. So, scratch that off. By the way, Fanstoys has a lot on their plate. We're going to talk about that in a second. So, in this year, for sure, is number 2 is the answer to reveal of Slingshot and Firefly. Now, I was thinking that this year, for sure, we might actually get them. Now they're saying, for sure, you're going to see pictures of what they'll look like painted in prototype form and all that. But I think we might get one. Number 3 is Scourge coming anytime soon. Scourge just makes sense, doesn't it? They say they're working on it, but they still need more time. And I think I know what they're doing. Theirs has to be better than X-Transbots. I mean, if you saw my video about Cyclonus, they're reverse engineering X-Transbots. Andres. Just kidding, though. I love Fanstoys. Then number 4, are you planning a Tesla 2.0? So, yes, they are. They're planning it. And then number 5, again, they're asking about the Diebots and are they going to be a non-chrome metallic paint? And no, we're not doing that. So what all does this mean for our good friend Tesla? Well, actually, I have a prediction. Now, let's just see how long it's going to take till it would get released if they announced this tomorrow. Let's just step back and look at this. We've got 3 mini-bots that they've announced with the Hunk, the Sheridan, and the Dune Raker. And so those have been announced. Those are pretty much for sure coming sometime this year. We also have 3 more Stunticons coming, right? Am I on track here? We also have 3 more aerial bots coming. So the math on that adds up quickly, 369, that's 9 figures. But then you start filling in the gaps. We've got Promise coming. So we have this figure Promise. This one looks like it's pretty close to coming out. I expect it this year. I've said that before. We've got Stomp, or Chomp. We got Chomp coming. Still on the books. Still promised to us. Promised to us a while ago. Promised to us a long time ago was Outrider. Promised to us even longer ago is Acoustic Wave. So now we're up to what, 13? And then that doesn't even take into account promised even longer ago. Well, no, not so long ago. Berserk, or that's their version of Blitzwing. Not to mention the 2.0 Spindrift. I would hope they would get this 2.0 out first. But actually, I kind of would rather the Tesla come out because I'm kind of interested in seeing what they do with that. And they've also promised us Fort Max with Cerebro, so we don't know how many parts Fort Max is coming in. So there's a lot of figures on the table, and if you add all of that up, it's somewhere between, depending on how you add it up, 16 and 20 figures. And with all that promised to us, doing the math with about, just go in the middle, 18 figures, they release about 6 to 8 new molds per year, we're looking at probably 2023 till Fanstoys Tesla comes out. So 2023 is when we'll see a Tesla 2.0. But again, that's a conservative estimate because we were thinking in 2013 we'd get acoustic wave. But hey, that's a whole different story, right? So now you guys have to make a decision. If you don't have a Tesla or a good perceptor representation, what do you do? Well, you actually still have a few options. Number one, hold your breath till 2023 for the 2.0 to come out. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that's something you want to do, people have been holding their breath for Fanstoys for a decade now. Well, close to a decade. And 7 years, I guess you could say, for some releases. And I gotta say, they're telling me that they're happy that they've waited. Other people don't mind having something on their shelf for 7 years until something better comes along. So I'm gonna stand by my previous recommendations because I have recommended this in another video, but I don't know if everyone's seen that. But I'm gonna stand by my recommendations. If you don't want to spend some crazy amount of money from $300 to $600, $500, I don't know what they're going for. If you don't want to spend a crazy amount of money on a Tesla, then you can do one of these two things. Grab yourself a cheap G1 to fill a slot. It is around the right size. The aesthetic is decent. It looks good for a G1. It's one of the best looking and the most posable figures from the G1 era. And it matches up pretty well. Again, if you don't want to do that, you could grab one of these Titan Returns ones for, now I know the price has shot up on them. They're like $50 now, I think. You might get a loose one for $30 or something, but that's still a whole lot less than $300. That is an option. Now this guy is going to be way shorter. He's way shorter than even the G1, but it is an option, and I think he does look pretty cool. And of course you can do something, prop him up, put him back in a corner or something like that if you want to, or of course you can leave a hole in your collection. There's nothing wrong with having a hole in your collection, but sometimes I got a hole or two in my collection, to tell you the truth. So let me know what you think. Are you excited about a possible 2.0 Tesla, even if it's years out? Do you already have Tesla and you're happy with them? Do you have Tesla and you're not happy with them? Like, subscribe, Kadarium Hanger out.